coordinate better, because when we use the local language, Uganda, there's a difference between a conference or then there is a meeting or chiko, and then there is a retreat, a keherero, or sirka in Uganda. Now, you can see that I am not able to fit very well in those, because I didn't come to Kuchika. Because when you come to Kuchika, you sit down and people speak and you speak and you debate and discuss. Then if it is a keherero, a retreat, again, you discuss for many days actually, not for one day. So I propose, because these are very important branches of the state, the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. So I propose that in future, and my office should be very strict on this, they should really ensure that I come to stay long, not just to come, because now, in Nyankore will say, Okubarabaho. I don't know whether there are some surviving Nyankore here. Okubarabaho means I passed by. I passed by. I was not part of the meeting. I was not part of the retreat, but I passed by. Now, that's not good enough, in my view. So, and today it was a bad day because it is a cabinet day. So, I don't know why they put it on a cabinet day. Now, if I had time, I would tell you a long story, but I would simply summarize it. Unfortunately, many of you are now young people. My contemporaries are no longer here because my contemporaries at the university were Benjamin Odoki, Ogola, and those people. Now, so you people here, I am with the new group. But during those university days, we had two lines. There were those, like many of our colleagues, who looked at public service as a career. We study, we finish, we go and work for the public service. But there were some of us who were saying, but the ideology of Africa is defective. So how can you work successfully as a mere public servant in this defective post-colonial, neo-colonial political framework? We had big debates among ourselves. I remember one of the boys sat me down and he thought I was getting lost. This boy was a contemporary of Odoki. He was called Bamturachi. Bamturachi, the father of the girl who is now running our airline. I don't know whether you remember that, Bamturachi. The father, not this girl, the father. Because his line was, their line, those other boys and girls, they were saying, we study, we finish, we go and work. But our question was, you work where? These people are lost. The system is off the point. So it took time. Because of that, it didn't take long. There was a constitutional crisis in 1966 between Obote and the king of Buganda, Mutesa. Then Amin came in 1971. And for us, our branch of that student movement went to fight, went to the bush from 1971. And the reason we were fighting is were two categories of reasons. Category one was, what are the strategic goals of Africa? Strategic, meaning the long-term goals. And for us, we said there were three goals. Number one, prosperity for all. All Africans must be prosperous. Until 1960, only a small part of the world was prosperous. This is Western Europe, North America, Canada and United States, and Japan. The rest of the world was in poverty, in underdevelopment. And we couldn't accept that. So, number one, there must be strategic prosperity for all. That's what we keep telling you here. Bonna bagagaware. Lonyo, pi dan, ot, duchu, acher. I think that's how I will try to say it in Acholi. But I think I've mixed it up a bit. So, that is target number one. But if you say you want prosperity for all, how would you achieve it? Our answer is we shall achieve it through education for all, bona basome, and everybody, every adult engaging in production of goods or services. Everybody must be a producer. Everybody who's an adult must be a producer of a good or a service with a chivaro, with chura, as they say in Luo. So that is number one. Number two, strategic security for the whole of Africa. For Uganda first, but the whole of Africa. Develop capacity to defend Africa against any threat in the world, because for the last 600 years, from 1472, when the Portuguese first arrived on the West African coast in Sierra Leone, Africa has been suffering. 600 years. Number three, in order to achieve these two, use the brotherhood of the African people. Because the African people, although some of the groups tell you that you are very different tribes, this one, what? Actually, you Africans, you only belong to 4 groups. 4 linguistic groups. What they call the Niger-Congo, that is the Bantu, and those people, those like Mensa, that name Mensa is well known to me. Mensa was a minister, was one of Nkrumah's ministers. You see, madam, what you call history, I call current affairs. Was that your father? Was your relative, Mensa? It was not your relative. But you heard of him. Very good. Mensa. So those people in South Nigeria and South Ghana, they are part of the Niger-Congo. On this side, from Cameroon coming this way, they are the Bantu, and beyond Cameroon, there are those people, the Kwa, they are called the Kwa, the Yorubas, the Igbos, and so on. And then you have the Nilo-Saharan, our people, the Nilotics, the Somalis, the Cushitics, these are all part of the same group. And then the number 3 group are the Afro-Asiatic, the Arabs and the Amharas and so on. And the smaller group in South Africa called the Khoisan. So for us we say, number 1, prosperity for all, through education for all, but also through production of goods and services. Number 2, strategic security for Africa. And number 3, these are achievable because the people we are talking about are either similar or linked. So those are our strategic goals. We spent 16 years fighting for those goals, fighting with arms. We had started as students, but continued using other means. But in order to achieve this, we evolved 4 principles. Because if you produce goods and services, the question is, who buys them? If you produce and nobody buys, then you cannot proceed. So that's why we say principle number 1 is patriotism. You must love Uganda. You must know that Uganda is more important than your tribal groups in Uganda, than the religious factions which had been created here. Because if all the Ugandans buy from you, they will be supporting your prosperity. Number 2, so principle number 1 is patriotism. But number 2, the internal market of Uganda is not enough. And we have seen it. You have seen people crying with the excess milk, excess sugar, excess maize, excess eggs, excess poultry, excess even industrial products, cement, and so on. So that's why we said principle number 2 must be Pan-Africanism. You must love Africa. Why? Because you need it. You need it for your prosperity. If you want to be a Latin America, you can continue. You see, Latin America is a very rich part of the world, but they are in poverty because they are badly organized politically and economically. So that is the second principle: patriotism, Pan-Africanism. Third principle: the society must undergo socio-economic transformation, which is part of what his Lordship, the Chief Justice, is saying. In 1789, there was a revolution in France. And by that time, France and Europe, some parts of Europe, were already had 4 classes. That revolution in France was caused by the peasants allying with the middle class, what they were calling the bourgeoisie, and the industrial working class, the proletariat, against the feudalists. So, more than 200 years ago, Europe had already undergone social metamorphosis. We must remember that process in biology of insects, how the same organism can start off as an egg, it becomes a caterpillar, it becomes a pupa, it becomes a mature butterfly. It is called metamorphosis. Society also metamorphoses. And part of the African problem is that the society has not metamorphosed for the last 600 years. You find a peasant producing another peasant. That's where the problem is. A peasant today is producing another peasant. So the peasants are perpetuating themselves. If you go to Europe today and you ask them to get you a peasant, they will not get him a peasant. They don't have them. Peasants in Europe have expired. They are only here with you people. You are the ones conserving peasants. So there is an African project for peasant conservation. NRM is saying you must undergo socio-economic transformation. Africa must become a middle-class society and a skilled working-class society. This is the third principle of the NRM. The fourth one is democracy. So, these are the principles we pushed. When we were students, our line, our group, because we were not united. Some of the students were saying we were wrong. But history has proved us correct. So when we came, first of all, because of those principles, we were able to build a national political force, the NRM. If you go to Somalia, part of the problem of Somalia is that they cannot build a national army. Why? Because they believe in clans, in sectarianism. If you believe in sectarianism, how will you develop an army that will defend the whole country? So this idea of what we call principles, which in fact means ideology, is very decisive. If you have got a wrong ideology, you will get wrong results. Now, because of that, we were able to build a strong political force and also a strong army, the National Resistance Army. And that's why Uganda has been peaceful all these years because of that capacity. Now, you can look at Africa. How many failed states do we have now? You can count them. Problems in Mali, in Burkina Faso. I don't know the situation in Chad, how it is, in Central African Republic, in Congo here, in Somalia, in so many places you can talk about, where they have got to call the UN to come and guard people. Why should you be guarded by UN? Why? Why can't you guard yourselves? So therefore, when we came from the bush, we linked up with our colleagues who had stayed in the town here. They were there, so they knew us. The Odokis, you are people, but the ones who are older than you. The Odokis, the Ogolas, many of them. There was a girl called Okero, the tall girl from Lango. I don't know where she must be alive, but retired. Okero, those were girls who were with us. They were in your system. So I think we have not had a detailed discussion. That's why I really now want to come and be part of the retreat, not just come pass by, because it seems we do not harmonize very well. We talk. I come and give a speech, go away. Nobody says you are wrong here, Mr. Museven'S. So I think there is some gap here. I want my constituency, which is the revolutionary wing of the student movement of the 1960s, which mobilized the peasantry to harmonize with you, so that we really speak the same language. We talk, but we don't harmonize very closely. The other, for us, we have moved. We have revived the economy. You can look at the economy. If I had time, I would give you what is happening, which you know. Like what the CJ is saying, the judge you have put in Moroto will now be able to travel on a tarmac road all the way from here to Moroto. That was not the case in the past. The one of West Nile, we have moved. But we need to agree on the issue of prioritization, because that is also another issue. Because what if you don't have enough money yet to do all this or that or that? What do you do? Because this is the problem of these other countries, the ones which are guarded by the UN, which I consider an insult, to be guarded by the UN as if we are imbeciles. I can't be guarded by the UN. UN will never come here in Uganda to guard us. It's an insult. We can defend ourselves, money or no money. And we have proved it. If you want to challenge me that you, Museveni, you are just talking, I can tell you that I have been leading an army for the last 50 years. From 1971, I've been leading armies, most of the time without money. When you say for Nasser, it was an army, it could kill you, in case you are not sure. But we had no money. But we had an army. NRA, this UPDF, you see them, they have no houses. They have not been having houses. They have been staying in these grass huts, what they call Mama Ingia Pore. So, I have been leading an army for the last 50 years, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 10, 50. Most of the time, either without money or with very little money. So, what happens? What do we do? I think we need time. When I met CJ the other day, and we agreed that we should have an inter-branch meeting. The speaker, the CJ, myself, and the other people, Prime Minister and the Vice President, so that we see how much money do we have now, and what do we do? Because we have got all these, and I gave him the example of the human body. The human body, this is Mr. Museven. Yoweri Museveni, you must have heard of him. All the parts of the body are his. The brain, the head, the arms, the legs are his parts. They all need blood. But what if the blood is not enough? What do we do? What do we do? I think when we meet, I will ask the cardiologists, the doctors, to tell us when a patient is declared dead, when a person is declared, when does somebody die? You can lose a leg, but you don't die. You remain there. You can lose an arm, you remain there. An eye, but there's a time when you die, and you say, this one is dead now. So when is that? Is it when the heart stops? Is it when the brain stops? What kills a person when a person dies? I've not sorted it out. So the same with the state. Here you have the state now, and you have got this scarce blood. Now, what do we do? What do we do? The question to answer number one is that omwavu tagenda kubeera na, what do you call justice in Uganda? Obwenkanya, huh? Obwenkanya? Do you have some Baganda here? Is it Obwenkanya? Obwenkanya. So, should we say that a country without money will have no justice? Is that really what you are saying? That a country without enough money shall have no justice? Me, my answer is, when we were in the bush, controlling the Royal Triangle, we were having very serious justice without money. So again, I have a proof of that. In Ruera, I was the Chief Justice. I was both Chief Justice and President. I was combining both. We had justice, but no money. Just like I cannot agree, that one I cannot agree, for sure, because I know it. And I've told all these people that it's not acceptable to say that a country cannot defend itself because they have no money. We shall defend ourselves, money or no money. What we need is some food, ammunition, the gun. Clothes are optional. If they are there, we put them on. If not, we So really, I need time to come and really be part of the meeting, not just come and, what we call passing by people in our Luo language. How do we say? Not CJ. Let's get a Luo speaker who can help CJ. The Luo people who can help you on the microphone. When you pass by people, Mbaiseko we see. Do we have a Luo other than the CJ? Huh? Or they don't know the language? Neyo. Huh? Let's get somebody. Who can tell us when you say passing by? Come to the microphone. Come.
Your Excellency, it is Kakarakara.
Huh?
Kakarakara.
Kakarakara. Kakarakara.
Passing by.
I've just Kakarakara now. Pacho Kwene.
Tiak, Amoro District.
Amoro District?
Yes, fellow.
Okay, Apoyo. So, but in this particular case, I want us to separate the strategy and the ideology from the actual decisions. Because when I met CJ the other year, we set a target of 800 billion shillings for the judiciary. Because at that time, judiciary was only like 190 billion at that time. But with the budget of 45 trillion, separating the strategy and ideology from the reality, I thought really it was not too much for the whole branch, the judiciary, to get 800 billion of the 45 trillion. And that's what I said. I said, no, this one we can. Not because I'm saying no money, no justice, no money, no army. I reject that. I'm not part of that. Our position is, this is our land. We have been here for 4.5 million years. Our ancestors made mistakes, led by stupid kings who failed to defeat the imperialists. But we cannot be defeated by anybody here. Money or no money. So, for us, we believe we can have army even when we don't have money or we don't have enough money. We can have justice even when we don't have money or we don't have enough money. But the way we stand now, actually we have got quite a bit of money. So it is just a question of planning, not mixing it up with the ideology. Because if the ideology is no money, no justice, then I don't agree. Because some of the countries don't have money at all. Even they are much worse off than we. So the 800 billion, in my view, only that we were interfered with by this corona, and then other things came in, then some distortions. But as a target, we are going to, I think it is achievable. But this is because of where we are now. Because remember, We did not have a budget of 45 trillion. It was much less in the past. So in the past, it was, we had to, now we may be able to do it now if we plan better, because we have a bit more money, although we've got other things also to do. So I think I will meet CJ, meet the speaker. Of course, I represent my constituency, the freedom fighters, the armed forces, we who have been fighting without money, and then and I want you, all you are lawyers, all right, but I want you to share our ideological view, to be aware. You don't, even if you don't support, but you be aware that these characters think like this. Are they right? Are they wrong? You put it in your head, so that we don't again miss the bus. Africa has missed the bus for the last 600 years because of mistakes. This chaos in Africa is not accidental. When you hear that the French army, what is French army doing? That French army is guarding Burkina Faso, guarding Mali. Why? Why? What are you, Burkinabe, whatever they call them? What are you doing? Why can't you defend your country? Here, I refused. I've been here. You know, I've been here for some years. You remember that? Some foreigners came. They wanted me to sign what they called SOFA, Status of Forces Agreement, that when foreign armies are here, they should be handled like this, they should be handled like that. So I said, first of all, I don't need foreign armies here. I don't need any foreign army here. I don't need it. You come train, go away. What are you doing here? Or our people go and train there and come back. Finish. But if there are those who want to be here, they said, they brought a draft. In the draft, they were saying that if a foreign soldier who is in Uganda commits an offense, he can't be tried here. He must be taken back to his country where he must be tried. Oh, I said, beg your pardon. I said, okay, I can think about that. Maybe fighting in the bar, we can let him go and be tried in California or wherever. But you kill a Ugandan, or you rape a Ugandan woman, and we take you away? No way. You must be tried here. Oh, see, this is very difficult. This is our constitution. But this is ours also. You have heard that we have a constitution also. Madame, Excellence, Mademoiselle. Our constitution says that if you kill a person, actually you die. And this person must be tried here. Then, at one time, because I actually tried to compromise, I said, okay, let us have a reciprocal arrangement, so that when some Ugandan soldiers are somewhere, they also do something, they are brought back. No. Are you clever people, or are you something else? Abantu bano bagezi oba kiri ekirala kubanga oba otali mugezi oba. So we have never signed a single SOFA. It's now 37 years, we were celebrating 37 years. Never. We reject subservience completely. So therefore, I really need time. I want to be part of this meeting, not just the other one, Karakara. This Karakara is not good. I want to be part of the meeting. So next time you arrange, please, my staff, don't put it on a cabinet day, number one. But number two, my staff should not put other things, so I Karakara. That's why we are not harmonizing. We are doing well, but we can harmonize much better, much better. Thank you very much. What do I do now? Do I open the conference or what? Oh, I declare the conference opened.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Let us appreciate His Excellency. We shall now stand up for the anthems in the reverse order. Thank you very much. We shall resume our seats as we have a few photographs with Excellency. We shall have a few of them in the interest of time, and I request the protocol team to assist us in that arrangement. We shall have the first one with the High Table and His Excellency. We shall have the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal together, joining the High Table. It will be followed by the High Court, and the High Court, given the numbers, which we thank God for, we shall do it in two groups. We shall do it in two groups. Let's have the one of the Supreme Court trying to make their way and the Court of Appeal to join the High Table. As we take the photographs, we continue to appreciate the partnership we have with the UNDP, and also we thank for the presence of the resident representative of UNDP, Ms. Els Atafua. Thank you very much for coming and the support that you give the judiciary, especially in the exchange visits between Uganda and Ghana. The next one will be the High Court, and we shall do it in two groups. The first one will be Central together with Western. The High Court judges from Central Western, we request you to be making your way to immediately join after that photo that is being taken. Central and Western. Thank you very much. We can have the next one. High Court judges from Central and Western, we request you to make your way and have the next one, which will be followed by the Northern, which includes the West Nile, East, and the Southern Uganda. That is the Central and Western. Thank you very much. Let's have the one for North, East, and Southern Uganda. All the judges from the 3 regions, we request you to join in. That will be followed by the foreign guests, the justices from Ghana. We shall request you to have a photo with His Excellency. Judges from North, East, and Southern Uganda, it is your time. Thank you very much. Let's have the visiting justices from the Republic of Ghana. Let's have Pepperdine join there. The team from Pepperdine quickly join and we conclude that. Pepperdine, let's have our way quickly and take a photograph. The last one will be for the development partners with His Excellency. I want to announce that after that one, we shall continue to take other photographs with the Chief Justice. So development partners, we request you to raise up and take the last one. Let's try to catch up with time. Development partners, you can be joined by the MDAs, other government agencies, kindly join that one. Non-government organizations, quickly join that one, and that is the last one. We shall, however, continue to take others after. Thank you very much. We shall continue taking the photographs after this session. After His Excellency has left, we shall request the chairs to remain there, which will be used by the Chief Justice. Will now take the position and the high table after seeing off His Excellency. We continue to appreciate, and we appreciate the presence of Mr. Herbert Nsubuga, who is the member of the Judiciary Council. We appreciate the presence of Ms. Waito Kimani, the National Director of International Justice Mission. We do appreciate the presence of Mr. Scott Reist, the Director Program East Africa, Pepperdine University. We do appreciate the presence of Dr. Pamela Tibikira Kariegira, Chairperson Uganda Law Reform Commission. We do appreciate Honorable Shafira Rukwago, Commissioner representing the Chairperson Uganda Human Rights Commission, Ms. Rachel Apoti Ogora, representing the County Representative of UNFPA. We have Charity Aumuza, Program Officer, Democratic and Human Rights, Embassy of Sweden. Thank you very much for coming. And she's representing the Ambassador of Sweden to Uganda. We have Barbara Wachia Kilei, Hydro Country Manager Uganda, Ms. Rita Namakika Nangano, Chairperson Insurance Appeals Tribunal. We are graced with the presence of Ms. Mase Kinobwisho, the Registrar General. We are happy to have Senior Counsel Francis Jimara, Chairperson PPDA Appeals Tribunal. We have